Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live, and we've got a great show coming up. I talked to Entergy here about 2 weeks ago, and we've been doing some shows and are going to be doing more shows on hurricane season 2025. And I wanted to talk to Entergy. They did a fabulous job last year after Beryl hit, right in the peak of vacation season, getting power back on. But I wanted to talk to them about what are they doing logistically to get prepared for this year? And this is what they had to say. And I'm here with Entergy today, and we're going to talk hurricane season 2025. I've been doing some shows. We've got another show coming up with Galveston County Office of Emergency Management. But we're going to talk about not only what you can do to get ready, but what Entergy's doing. Now, we all remember Beryl last year that hit the day after July 4th weekend. And I can tell you, I watched the process. Talked to them about the logistics. We did a show on it. And I can say they got, for the damage we had down here, when it first happened and someone called me before y'all ever had come down, I said, man, 2 weeks. Because it looks like spaghetti noodles down here right now, especially in that one area. But 5 days later, 4.5 days later, actually 4 days, I think, in High Island, and then the next morning, y'all had power coming on. It went quick. But it was, when we did the show on that, it was all about planning.
That's right.
And y'all had you had 3 different plans. If this pole couldn't get down here, in fact, some poles got stopped from Beryl, I think, going up north, they were coming down. What have you done for this year to start getting ready? Homeowners, you get your box together, you have bottled water and everything, but y'all have a lot bigger area to cover and a lot more, it's more logistical than anything. So what have y'all done this year?
So just like every year, we strategically do storm drills, right? So we typically always finish those before storm season. So we've already done that. We've done a system storm drill, then we've done our state level storm drill. And it's just a scenario. It's a scenario of, hey,
if it hits here, correct, or hits here, or hits here.
Yep. And of course, our scenario this year was it coming hitting the Bolivar Peninsula, right? And then
thanks.
I'm
glad they've got faith in us this year. You could have done Surfside again, and it wouldn't have hurt my feelings.
I think they wanted to pick on me, I guess.
Yeah.
So no, it went very well. We have logistics, we have resource planning, a lot of different groups that get enacted right then to work through that process, and just a plan on how to restore power.
And we were talking earlier about the new poles that y'all are putting up, and you're going to more of those versus the wood poles. Let's talk a little bit about that and the cofferdam and the resilience of them.
Yep. So, when you look at composite poles and then you look at wood poles, the only difference is just the sizing, right? Wood poles are still a good, viable option. You just have to go bigger with the wood poles than you would the composite poles. And so, like last year, right, during the Beryl where we had to have those poles shipped to us, one of my options was coming from Canada. We don't have to worry about that this year. Our manufacturer actually has a house right there in Houston.
Oh, okay.
They've set up a new place, so we can get poles right there from Houston, quick, ready, easy. However, even with that, centrally located around the Lake Charles area, we have a pole laydown yard with thousands of poles prepped and ready for the storm. It's pretty much centrally located if you think about Entergy as a whole, right, from all the way from New Orleans back to our area. So.
And these poles are used all along coastal regions where we serve in that whole stretch.
So typically out of the coastal region, you're still using wood poles? People don't use the composite as much?
We do. We have applications when it meets a certain standard where we'll use those even off the coast.
Do you? How do they do in tornadoes? Is it about the same?
Yeah, I think so. So far what we've seen is they hold up. I guess and I'm no engineer by no means, but it seems like they do hold up to wind loading, and just the weight rating of them are better.
And this is an off-the-wall question. Is tariffs slowing down anything for y'all? Because camera equipment and different things people have held up. Is tariffs holding up anything for y'all?
So at my level, I don't notice
Okay.
it. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering. I just thought about it. If homeowners are down here, and you know, it's usually slow in June and July, but once we get to the middle of July, typically through the end of September, middle of October, that's when we really watch the charts and really stay on top of things. What can homeowners do to make y'all's job easier if they're going to be gone for a week or two? What can they do to make your job easier, or is there anything they can do to help y'all out? I know on generators, making sure your main breaker's off so you're not back feeding. And I don't know how often that happens down here, but I know it does happen. What can homeowners do to help y'all?
Well, I would offer a tip for homeowners. If you're going to be gone for an extended period of time during hurricane season, take everything out of your ice box. If your power is going to be out for a little while, you don't want to come back to a beach house that smells like food that's melted and gone bad. So I would recommend doing that for sure during hurricane season at least. But just make sure your property is secure. Prepare your property like you would if you knew a storm was coming. If you're going to be gone for a while, make sure to check over everything and that it's in good order before you leave.
Yep.
Right.
I think to your generator question, that's a really good one, right? A lot of times you'll see crews, they're sitting talking on the radio, right, prepping a plan. That has to do with some of the backfeed that generator can put back onto the line, right? So there's a lot of safety things that they need to work through, talk with our distribution operations center, things like that. But it's just ensuring that you've properly worked through an electrician or have it hooked up properly where you're not backfeeding the line.
I know that's the first thing, because I have a generator I hook up to the house to run the AC in my computer and stuff. And before I ever hook it up or anything, the main breaker gets thrown off. That way I don't, and Alvin's the one that said, before you ever wheel it out of the garage, go throw your main breaker. And he said, you'll save us a whole lot of trouble down the road.
Yeah.
So do y'all monitor that? And can you tell if someone's back feeding? Do you have to go out and find it, or what do you do?
No, they have, we have a whole long process that we follow, but they'll test the line to see if it's energized before they put grounds on it, before then they can go to work on it. So
Great. Well, I asked them to come down because we're doing a lot of shows on hurricane season. We got a taste of a little one last year when Burl hit down the coast, but we had a lot of damage here. Had some road damage, had some flooding, a little bit of flooding, but a lot of power damage. But I'm happy to say, I know it went out about 5:30 Monday morning, if I'm not mistaken, 4:30, 5:30, somewhere in there. And by Thursday evening, they were already energizing some of the lines. And then Friday morning, by Friday afternoon, everyone down here pretty much had power back, unless there was a problem with a line somewhere. And so let me tell you, I talk to these guys a lot, and I probably bore them more than anything, but the communication that's coming across now to us, to GCOEM, to everyone is a lot better, and it helps out down here, and the information they're feeding us on a daily basis when there is an outage is outstanding. So we try and get it out as soon as possible, especially if there's a power outage or something. And so make sure you follow us on our social media platforms, and we've got some other ways of getting information out that we're going to talk about here in the next couple weeks. So y'all, thanks for joining us today. Well, you can see Entergy's really taken our community to heart, and being prepared for hurricane season or any outage is a big part of what they're doing now. The resilience of the electrical grid down here. So I want to thank them. And remember, now's the time to get ready on your home down here. Make sure everything's battened down. Clean your refrigerator out if you're going to be gone for a while. And make sure if you hook a generator up that you turn your main breaker off first so you don't backfeed. And that'll speed up the process of being able to get power back on down here. Remember, we stay in contact with Entergy, Galveston County OEM, the Weather Service, and we get information out as soon as we get it, day or night. And we're also going to be covering the Gulf and letting you know what's out there, if anything's out there to affect us. We're going to head on out. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye. Video equipment is sponsored by Crystal Beach Decor and More, located at 1959 Highway 87 in Crystal Beach, Texas, and Beachy Beatnik Boutique and Jewelry, located at 970 Surfside and Highway 87 in Crystal Beach, Texas. Thank you to these two businesses for being our 2025 video equipment sponsor for Bolivar Live.